scrambling. Literally. Be right back. I'm still trying to get my stuff in order here. Scramble. Stat. Okay. After being pecked by a radioactive bird, a somewhat mannered Tuthill was compelled to become Kinneas, the Skydude. All right. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you might be in time and space itself. Yours truly, Kinneas here, Saturday night. A Saturday night scramble. And I'm not talking eggs. So with all the pardon, gonna be that way, huh? Start coughing right when I broadcast. That's great. So with all of the Archer Midnight Runway testing that I've been doing all week and putting those videos together and editing them and blah 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 blah, I have had no time to do any career mode. Well, I've had no time to do any jobs. And you know what that means? That means if I'm not working, my crew are not working. Something I still take objection with, but that's the way it is. So here it is, Saturday night. I haven't made a buck all week. And I haven't really flown this thing in career mode yet, the Cirrus Jet. So some short ones were near our location, like 30-minute runs, not a big deal. So anyway, I thought I'd do some scrambling myself and get the crew scrambling and try to make a few bucks before Sunday morning. Thanks for tuning in. Hello, Admiral. Oh yeah. Hello to everybody else who might be tuning in, my more recent Archer fans and Archer friends. So I have a goal and that is to get 5 super chats. And so far I've got 1. My first goal was just 1, and I got it. So now my next goal is 5 super chats. So if you would like to contribute, please do. Okay. Things looking a little dirty. We should probably manage the aircraft, see if she's got fuel. Ah, she's topped up. She's just dirty. This is a VIP mission, so yeah, they get sad when the airplane is dirty. So get it all cleaned up. What's general? I'm wondering if that's interior cabin cleanup in any way. I'm going to run that one anyway. That's the only thing that's not accounted for, like the cabin cleaning, you know. Stocking the minibar. Paying for the entertainment. Well, it's Saturday night, you know. Flying around VIPs on a Saturday night. Yeah. All right. We're somewhere on the we're somewhere near New York. I haven't really spent much time in this in general. I've spent more time in the Honda Jet.
Warmest welcome to our passenger, Mr. Henry. She's close
Hello.
to VIP, who is very demanding. The service must be impeccable. Our 5-star reputation precedes us. Have a good flight, Captain.
He referred to her as Mr. Henry, but then as a female.
First class wings.
Good morning,
What?
Captain.
Oh, we're not configured. I've got no mouse control. Baba. Do I have anything else that I can set for it? Just the general one, maybe. Eating up our time. I spent all week again working on setting up the Archer Midnight controls properly. Earlier today, I was getting the Joby S4 set up properly. That should work. Maybe CJ4 controls. Caravan Viking. CJ4. So let's do this. Let's copy those and see what we get. Let's duplicate that and we'll call this the Cirrus Jet. I've had to rebuild all my profiles. So I was trying to hunt down a problem with a controller locating. Was it a conflict of buttons or are the springs going out? And so one of the troubleshooting steps is blow out all of your controls and start over again. Really? Really? So I did. It was not the problem. Forgive me if I'm not spelling this right, Cirrus. It's too late and I don't care. Okay, do we have mouse? What? This one doesn't have mouse? What about hat? Hat works. Ugh. Uh-huh. I already had one. There's a Vision Jet. I'm so sorry. I just jumped in this. There we go, though. We got that back. That's good. All right, what do we got here? We have an auto throttle. Manual speed mode. FMS speed mode. Set airspeed reference mode to FMS. That's a new one. Bumps 50%. Defogs. What's the... Do they have a speed controller here? No. Well, how do you dial in a speed then? Don't know. Don't see it. All inclusive. This plane has a red button on the ceiling that will land the plane if the pilot can't. But it chooses the airport. Like the Garmin emergency autopilot landing system. Been covering that for a while. Did they implement it? Is this the parachute? What is this one? Caps activation handle. Pull for caps. I don't see the autopilot. The Garmin. Anyway, they do make one for these oxygen. That's oxygen. Whatever. Garmin absolutely does make one. I've been following that for a while.
Kilo Delta Mike Whiskey traffic. Kin Sierra Victor India Niner. Taking off runway tree 4. West departure Kilo Delta Mike Whiskey.
And PFD turn on SVT terrain. On the inset map? Where's that at? PFD settings? SVT terrain? Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. Angle of attack auto.
Good morning, sir. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of First Class Wings, I would like to welcome you on board flight SVI 9 bound for Wharton. Estimated flight time to Wharton is 23 minutes. To prepare for takeoff, please ensure your seat belt is fastened tightly. Your seat is in the upright position and your tray table is securely stored. Thank you and get ready for a wonderful flight.
All right. So, all of my crew are now working. So everybody's out there scrambling to make a buck tonight. Just enough to buy their whatever they need for the weekend. At least to get them by. We're sitting on over $2 million in the bank. So it's covered. I had such a blast this last week working with the Archer Midnight. Really enjoyed it. One thing that I did not set is my brakes. My brakes. Which button is the brakes? I think it's used to another controller. Either way, I need to set the altitude. We'll set it for 10. What do they have us set for? Where's the this thing? The EFB. So 10,000 feet. All right, so I got that right. We're gonna want level on, flight director on. Good. We're going to want flight level change on. We're gonna want nav mode on. I gotta think about which controller I'm using. I've got two joysticks on the table. Well, which one am I using? Okay. Whoa. I wonder if they're fighting each other. Could just be me. But she was pulling really, really hard. Where is the... landing gear? Okay, flaps are up. It's gotta be right here in my face. Where is it? There it is. All right, up.
Potomac approach. Kin Sierra Victor India Niner is type 2 miles north of 07 Mike Delta, 1500. Request flight following. Kin Sierra Victor India Niner, Potomac approach. Squawk 2641.
All right. Autopilot engaged. Let's see about auto throttle.
Did you copy?
Armed. Toga MCT. Yeah.
Kin Sierra Victor India Niner, did you copy?
Right.
All of this is here. Squawk 2641. Kin Sierra Victor India Niner.
Hello.
Sierra Victor India Niner. Radar contact 2 miles northeast of Mike Delta 20, 3600. Altimeter 29992.
My passenger's already not going to be happy. Thing is not following the flight plan.
I'm not feeling
See, he's already complaining.
Kin Sierra Victor India Niner, did you copy?
Damn it, air traffic control. I'm trying to get this thing figured out here.
India Niner.
Dang you. Where's the plan, Stan?
I'm not feeling all of this is here.
Oh man, we've lost him. Yeah, if there went our VIP, he's going to be really upset now. That's all right. live to fly another day. I think we're situated now.
King Sierra Victor India 9er is cleared to Papa Alpha 88 Airport as filed. Squawk 2641. King Sierra Victor India 9er, contact New York Center on 132.2. Good day.
That's one of the things I was reading with Urban Air Mobility today about how they want to automize air traffic control a little bit, and I really like that because, I mean,
New York Center.
you
Sierra Victor India 9er.
you really do need a co-pilot. You're trying to manage all of your crap, and air traffic control is just like bam, 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 bam.
Altimeter 2992. Radar contact continue.
I mean, it is definitely one of the last things that they needed to automate, but they do need to automate it in some way. You've got to stop talking so damn much. There's too much going on. With all this tying that they can do now between computers and everything else, right? Have it implement the squawk code. Don't ask me to say, just implement the damn squawk code on the airplane, right? Everything that you need to do, you can do remotely now. Just do it. My Lord. Who's a bit testy tonight? Kinneas is. How come you're so testy, Kinneas? Well, I haven't been getting much sleep this week. Matter of fact, I've been burning the candle at both ends. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, we're at 10,000 feet. Let's see what auto throttle does here. Well, there's got to be a setting. Yeah, there is. Okay. Let's try. Does that say 250 knots? No, that's not changing. Auto throttle on. Airspeed reference manual. Reference mode to FMS.
Victor India 9er contact. Washington Center on 1.4.15. Good day.
That didn't work. Put it on manual. Aha, got a carrot. All right, put it at 240 knots.
Sierra Victor India 9er, did you copy? 134.15 for Kin Sierra
All right.
Victor India 9er.
In a cruise. So what have you been doing this week? How have y'all been? How have you been?
Kin Sierra Victor India.
Sorry I haven't been around. Again, there's so much dang, strike that.
Sierra Victor India 9er, Washington Center, altimeter 2992, radar contact continue.
No. Isn't that awesome? Look at how small that engine is. And that's, I mean, that's some serious technological advancement. That thing is moving us at almost 500 miles an hour. That's so incredibly powerful. I cannot wait to try an electric one or not. But don't freeze. No! By the way, I just installed the latest NVIDIA driver yesterday, and it says we're hung. Could be due to either a driver fault, an application bug, graphic card overheating, graphic card overclocking. Really? That's just like, it shouldn't be overheating. Fans are going like 1,000 miles an hour. So yeah, I did just put in the latest NVIDIA driver yesterday with the DLSS 5. The only thing I could do is take it out of DLSS mode. Ugh, man. We just lost an hour. I wonder if they'll give us any credit, like 5 minutes worth of credit for airtime. Typical. Do. Well, I suppose this is as good a time as any to go grab another drink, so I'll be right back. Well, how do you make that damn bottom part go away? I don't know. I've been awarded career credits based on the time I spent in this activity. Well, there's 13 grand. That's enough to buy dinner. Yep, enough to buy dinner. Welcome back. Well, welcome back, Simulator. Passive income in that short time made 63,000. Fantastic. So again, I don't know if it's the driver, but it's a brand new driver, the latest NVIDIA driver. So, and again, nothing should be stupidly high graphic wise at all. Everything is set to highs and lows. I don't need that to ultra. Yeah, really, the clouds are set on ultra, the light shafts. Cloud should always be on ultra. I don't know how that got turned down. Maybe for testing purposes. I don't need the ray march reflections right now on ultra. We don't need ray trace shadows. And we'll take it out of we'll leave it in DLS, but we'll put it to performance. Well, dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. So in the past, kind of like now, not a whole lot of people stop in to chat. And I noticed some folks, they use a chat screen during their shows that shows what people are chatting. So I don't have to relay everything. So people can see where you're chatting. So I've done a test here where I put in test. But it's hard, it's kind of hard to see, I think. There we go. I made it as bright as I could, but not a dark background, some sort of... You can see two of your houses from here. Oh, in this screen. Hilarious. That's cool. Two houses. What plane is this? It doesn't say what it needs. It's only 30 minutes. It's got to be that Sears jet. Even with the Archer Midnight installed this whole week, I haven't had a crash. Not one. Not one, not one. Well, at least it did crash, and that spares us the problem with the client. It didn't say anything about taking a reputation away. So I have another chance to not freak a client out. Do. Boy.
Flight SVI 9 parking 1 for ground service. Ready for passengers boarding. Roger that, Captain. They're on their way. Have a good flight.
All right, here we go again.
Sir, I wish you a good flight on behalf of first class wings.
Good morning, Captain.
They mentioned at the gate that the network would be available throughout the flight. I need it for some important calls, Captain. So please make sure not to cut off my connection without notifying me.
Mm-hmm. Just checking some things one more time before we go. And where are your lights? Well, just those, I guess. Strobe and landing. It's got to be it. All right.
Hello, everyone. Please give your warmest welcome to our passenger, Mr. Henry. She's close to a VIP who is very demanding. The service must be impeccable.
See, it says Mr. Henry and then addresses Mr. Henry as a she. How can you expect me to...
Kilo Delta Mike Whiskey Traffic. Kin Sierra Victor India 9er.
Expect me to keep that straight.
Runway Tree 4. Kilo Delta Mike Whiskey. Sir, on behalf of our flight crew, we would like to welcome you on board flight SVI 9 bound for Wharton. Our flight time will be 23 minutes. We expect an on-time departure, and we're currently ready for takeoff. I will keep you informed of any key updates as we go through the flight. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. It wasn't my fault. He hit me, came out of nowhere. I'm not paying the insurance on that, I'll tell you.
Sir, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of First Class Wings, I would like to welcome you on board flight SVI 9 bound for Wharton. Estimated flight time to Wharton is 23 minutes. To prepare for takeoff, please ensure your seatbelt is fastened tightly. Your seat is in the upright position and your tray table is securely stored. Thank you, and get ready for a wonderful flight.
Do this again. Yeah, easy.
Potomac approach India Niner is type 1 miles northwest of Kilo Delta Mike Whiskey, 1100. Request flight following.
Kin Sierra Victor India Niner, Potomac approach. Squawk 1575.
Squawk 1575. Kin Sierra Victor India Niner. Roger. Kin Sierra Victor India Niner.
Yeah.
I'm on my way. Everything's set up.
Kin Sierra Victor India Niner. It's cleared to Papa Alpha 88 Airport as filed. Squawk 1575. Kin Sierra Victor India Niner contact New York Center on 132.2. Good day.
Going to 132.2. Kin Sierra Victor
All right.
India Niner.
Back to where we were when we crashed before.
Sierra Victor India Niner, New York Center, altimeter 2992, radar contact continued.
Like a flying porpoise. Skyfish. It's the skyfish. It should make porpoise noises. Okay. Man, so much going on. Bushtalk. Eisenhower National Historic Site is nearby at 8.3 miles. Gettysburg National Military Park, 9.1 miles, bearing 001. The Battle of Gettysburg, Camp David, State Line Franklin. Some of these are too good to miss. One moment. I'm going to make sure that the volume in the simulator is low. I'm going to turn up Bushtalk Radio. So, pardon me while I turn this way down. It might even be a little unpleasant because you don't hear anything. It gets a little uncomfortable. Like, where's some noise? Why is it so quiet? Everything's okay. Do not adjust your set. You're all right. You're not freaking out. Trust me. I know. Okay. See how quiet that is. Oh, that's nice and quiet. Okay, Bushtalk. Bushtalk. Taxes. No audio playing. What's going on here? Keep Bushtalk playing. What are they saying? More pilots are joining every week. Really? Are they gonna... Is it... Okay. I wouldn't pay, but I would accept usage limits. Really? I've been with you guys from the beginning. I was one of the first. I'm not even making $3 a month doing my live streams. One payment. What? All right, let's see if it can find us. Camp David.
Washington Center, Kin Sierra Victor India Niner is at 10,900, descending 10,000.
Camp David is the country retreat for the President of the United States. It is located in the wooded hills of Catoctin Mountain Park in Frederick
They
County,
changed her voice.
near the towns of Thurmont and Emmitsburg, about 62 miles north-northwest of the national capital city of Washington, D.C. It is officially known as the Naval Support Facility Thurmont because it is technically a military installation. The staffing is primarily provided by the Seabees, Civil Engineer Corps, the United States Navy, and the United States Marine Corps. Naval construction battalions are tasked with base construction and send detachments.
Those are on the same control.
Originally known as High Catoctin, Camp David was built as a camp for federal government agents and their families by the Works Progress Administration. Construction started in 1935 and was completed in 1938. In 1942, President Franklin D. Roosevelt converted it to a presidential retreat and renamed it Shangri-La for the fictional Himalayan paradise in the 1933 novel Last Horizon by British author James Hilton. Camp David received its present name in 1953 from Dwight D. Eisenhower in honor of his father.
Oh, they changed the AI and she's horrible.
Eisenhower had the practice golf facility built at Camp David. The Catoctin Mountain Park does not indicate the location of Camp David on park maps due to privacy and security concerns.
So that area down there, that's Camp David. So over to our right in this vicinity is Gettysburg. Is straight up that way, probably 5 miles. The Battle of Gettysburg is just right out there. Down there, right there in front of us somewhere. So here's Eisenhower National Historic Site, and then we'll do Gettysburg. Come on. Oh my God, it's so loud. And now it's not coming through the right audio channel.
Cumberland Township, Adams County, Pennsylvania, just outside Gettysburg.
I see.
Purchased by then General Eisenhower and his wife Mamie in 1903. The farm served as a weekend retreat for the president and a meeting place for world leaders, and became the Eisenhowers' home after they left the White House in 1961, with its putting green, skeet range, and view of South Mountain and the Gettysburg battlefield. It offered President Eisenhower much-needed respite from the pressures of Washington. It was also a successful cattle operation, with a show herd of Black Angus cattle. Some of the more notable of Eisenhower's guests were Premier Nikita Khrushchev of the Soviet Union, President Charles de Gaulle of France, Prime Minister Winston Churchill of Britain, and Governor Ronald Reagan of California.
All right. So I have to keep this open and minimized for you to hear it.
The Battle of Gettysburg took place in
where's the volume?
During the Civil War. The almost 4,000-acre park includes the Gettysburg National Cemetery. The Park Service is attempting to restore the battlefield.
I found it. They've added a volume control in finally.
The Gettysburg National Military Park properties include most of the Gettysburg battlefield. Many of the battles support areas during the battle and several other non-battle areas associated with the battle's aftermath and commemoration, including the Gettysburg National Cemetery.
So we pulled up doing a quick scan of the area, the Victor Collins Center Old Administration Building. A blood root. And we found an eastern red-backed salamander. Okay. It says there's 2 at Gettysburg.
The Battle of Gettysburg was fought July 1863 in and around the town of Gettysburg,
she's awful.
Pennsylvania, by Union and Confederate forces during the American Civil War. The battle involved the largest number of casualties of the entire war and is often described as the war's turning point. Union Maj. Gen. George Meade's Army of the Potomac defeated attacks by Confederate Gen. Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia, halting Lee's invasion of the North. After his success at Chancellorsville in Virginia in May 1863, Lee led his army through the Shenandoah Valley to begin his second invasion of the North, the Gettysburg Campaign. With his army in high spirits, Lee intended to shift the focus of the summer campaign from war-ravaged Northern Virginia and hoped to influence Northern politicians to give up their prosecution of the war by penetrating as far as Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, or even Philadelphia, prodded by President Abraham Lincoln. Maj. Gen. Joseph Hooker moved his army in pursuit, but was relieved of command just 3 days before the battle and replaced by Meade. Elements of the two armies initially collided at Gettysburg on July 1863, as Lee urgently concentrated his forces there, his objective being to engage the Union Army and destroy. Low ridges to the northwest of town were defended initially by a Union cavalry division under Brigadier Gen. John Buford, and soon reinforced with 2 corps of Union infantry. However, 2 large Confederate corps assaulted them from the northwest and north, collapsing the hastily developed Union lines, sending the defenders retreating through the streets of the town to the hills just to the south. On the second day of battle, most of both armies had assembled. The Union line was laid out in a defensive formation resembling a fishhook. In the late afternoon of July 2, Lee launched a heavy assault on the Union left flank, and fierce fighting raged at Little Round Top, the Wheatfield, Devil's Den, and the Peach Orchard. On the Union right, Confederate demonstrations escalated into full-scale assaults on Culp's Hill and Cemetery Hill, all across the battlefield. Despite significant losses, the Union defenders held their lines. On the third day of battle, fighting resumed on Culp's Hill, and cavalry battles raged to the east and south, but the main event was a dramatic infantry assault by 12,500 Confederates against the center of the Union line on Cemetery Ridge, known as Pickett's Charge. The charge was repulsed by Union rifle and artillery fire, At great loss to the Confederate Army, Lee led his army on a tortuous retreat back to Virginia. Between 46,000 and 51,000 soldiers from both armies were casualties in the three-day battle, the most costly in U.S. history. On November 19, President Lincoln used the dedication ceremony for the Gettysburg National Cemetery to honor the fallen Union soldiers and redefine the purpose of the war in his historic Gettysburg Address.
Auto throttle put us into an overspeed situation. Not much, but it did. Yeah, I'm not real happy with their new AI translator. She sounds like Microsoft Copilot, where she slurs. It's like they're drunk. It's like she slurs half her words. The other AI that they had doing the translation, I don't know if that's why they're charging money now, because they were paying for a good one. That last one really, unless somebody typed in something wrong when they're creating their audio tour, it never made a pronunciation mistake. It never slurred like this one did. I made out most of what it was saying, but I'm going to listen to it again on the playback. Well, I'm going to play some more here as we pass over them. We're getting ready to we just passed the state line.
State Line is an unincorporated community and census-designated place in Antrim Township, Franklin County, Pennsylvania, United States. It is next to the Maryland state line along Interstate 81 and US Route 11 between Hagerstown, Maryland and Greencastle, Pennsylvania. As of the 2010 census, the population is 2,709. State Line was originally called Middleburg, and under the latter name laid out in east of 1812, and named for its location between Greencastle and Hagerstown, Maryland. The present name comes from the fact that the community is located on the Maryland-Pennsylvania state line. A post office called State Line was established in 1880. Earl's Market, in its square, is known for its hoagies. Other attractions include Rocky Ridge Collectibles, a popular antique and collectible shop.
I found a spider and another redback salamander. And nothing is in our path. We're not going to intercept anything. We're flying between look at this. We're flying in the corridor between all these awesome audio tours. Look at the vector that we're on. It's just straight through here. We might pass that one up there. You've got to be within like a mile or so from this one might be set a little higher. But you usually have to be pretty close to the audio tour for it to autoplay. Let's see what we have coming up here. We have State Line Franklin, another state line, Narrows Park, Brush Tunnel, things we won't be able to see from the air. We're going to have Defybaugh Tavern. We won't be able to see that. Omni Bedford Spring Resort. Let's see a body of water. Shawnee State Park, Pennsylvania. Allegheny Mountain, Pennsylvania. Flight 93 National Memorial. That's sad. Better of asking Google AI mode and reading it yourself. Right. Oh, she's been so good for all these years. I'm really surprised they made a move like that. And I'm really surprised that they would get away with letting it be that bad. Because it's been stellar from day one. I'm sure it'll get better, or, hopefully, again, right when they're asking us for money for subscription, then they do something like that. So it's going to be, I'm expecting, what I'm predicting is all their people are going to hit them with a backlash. Really? You just nerfed the AI and then you want to ask us for money? Sure, it's really great how you updated the app and, it looks nice. You finally gave us a volume level in there, which we've been asking for 10 years. And then you nerfed the AI? No. I'm glad I voted the way I did. No, I'm not paying. I'm cheap. Okay. At least we haven't crashed this time. Damn air traffic control.
124.4 for Kin Sierra Victor India Niner.
Hi, how are you?
Cleveland Center.
Everything okay?
Kin Sierra Victor
Everything
India
is
Niner.
ready for the arrival.
10,000.
Fine, can't wait. See you there, bye.
Well, it shouldn't take any time at all here. It's 55 miles to that pattern entry. Continue VFR to destination. Okay. It was likely sold and the new owner's cashing in. That's how it usually goes, right? I wonder if they think everybody flying is a terrorist because it's just they never stop talking to you. I'm sure it all makes sense in the real world how it all functions, but bum, 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 bum. Yeah, they do. If you acknowledge handoff, then they stop talking to you and saying, "Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Did you get my last transmission? Hey, 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 hey! Did you hear me? Hey." Yeah. Needy little buggers. You know what I mean? Looks like somebody's playing Farming Simulator down there. This is some pretty interesting terrain. I like it. Well, let's listen to this one here. Right off to our port side is Cumberland, Maryland. Learn a little something about that. Looks Victorian.
Cumberland is a U.S. city and the county seat of Allegheny County, Maryland. It is the primary city
Maryland.
of MDWV Metropolitan Statistical Area. At the 2020 census, the city had a population of 19,076. Located on the Potomac River, Cumberland is a regional business and commercial center for western Maryland and the Potomac Highlands of West Virginia. Historically, Cumberland was known as the Queen City, as it was once the second largest in the state, because of its strategic location on what became known as the Cumberland Road through the Appalachians. After the American Revolution, it served as a historical outfitting and staging point for westward emigrant trail migrations throughout the first half of these decades. In this role, it supported the settlement of the Ohio country and the lands in the latitude of the Louisiana Purchase. It also became an industrial center, served by major roads, railroads, and the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal, which connected Cumberland to Washington.
I can see that for sure.
National Historical Park. Today, Interstate 68 bisects the town. The industry declined after World War II, which led much of the later urban, business and technological development in the state has been concentrated in eastern coastal cities. Today, the Cumberland MDWV Metropolitan Statistical Area is one of the poorest in the United States, ranking 305th out of 318 metropolitan areas in per capita income.
Wow, that's neat. You got that natural cut through there. And then it continues forward, giving people coming around like, I don't want to go around these mountains. And then you get this wonderful, perfect cut right through all of this. Sad to hear that it's all depressed now. Once called the Queen City. It's pretty sad. Let's hear about this tunnel that we can't see. Behind us now.
Brush Tunnel is located between Corriganville and the unincorporated community of Blossom in Allegheny County, Maryland, 1.5 miles or 2.4 kilometers west of the latter, and a few miles northeast of Frostburg in western Maryland, United States. It is an active railroad tunnel owned by the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad, and formerly by the Western Maryland Railway and its predecessors. It is currently used by the WM to transport excursion trains between Cumberland and Frostburg via Frostburg over former WM mainline trackage. The tunnel was built by that railroad in 1911 and has a length of 14 feet or 78.7 meters. The nearest access to the tunnel for all but the railroads, including the public, is from Dan's Run Road just south of its intersection with Allegheny County Route 35/1. It was part of the original route of the former Western Maryland Railway from Cumberland to Hagerstown and continues to see service by rail tourists today.
Well, that's very nice. So coming up now in front of us and to our left, yeah, these lakes, probably 10, 20, 30 miles. So not these ones right here. Yeah, it only says it's 13 miles. So.
The Yoyokenny River Lake is a flood control reservoir in southwestern Pennsylvania and western Maryland. The lake was formed in 1944 by the damming of the Yoyokenny River upstream from Confluence, Pennsylvania. Yoyokenny Dam is an earthen structure, 84 feet high and is 10 feet long at its crest, owned and operated by the United States Army Corps of Engineers. U.S. Route 40 crosses the lake between Jockey Hollow on the Fayette County side and Summerfield on the Somerset County side. Summerfield was abandoned, razed, and inundated when the reservoir was filled in the 1940s. The stone Great Crossings Bridge of the National Road, which crossed the HIO HIO at Summerfield, is visible at extremely low water levels.
Oh, we're pretty much here. Whoa. Lost track of time. All right, let me not do a dive now that I've turned everything off. Bump, bump, bump.
The Yoyokanee River Lake is a flood control reservoir in southwestern Pennsylvania and western Maryland. The lake
Just
was
playing
formed
again.
in 1944 by the damming of the Yoyokanee River upstream from Confluence, Pennsylvania. Yoyokanee Dam is an earthen structure 84 feet high and is 10 feet long at its crest, owned and operated by the United States Army Corps of Engineers. U.S. Route 40 crosses the lake between Jockey Hollow on the Fayette County side and Summerfield on the Somerset County side. Summerfield was abandoned, razed, and inundated when the reservoir was filled in the 1940s. The stone Great Crossings Bridge of the National Road, which crossed the HIO HIO at Summerfield, is visible at extremely low water levels.
Do 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 do.
The Battle of Fort Necessity took place on July 3, 1754, in what is now Farmington in Fayette County.
Man, controls are so loose.
George Washington's first military experience and the only surrender of his military career. The Battle of Fort Necessity began the French and Indian War, which later
My goodness gracious.
conflict known as the 7 Years'
They're so loose.
Sparked by the assassination of French-Canadian military officer Jumonville, Washington set up a lean-to in a
my gosh.
location in a depression in a marsh, surrounded by light woods from which the French and their allies could safely harass Washington's troops. Not a brilliant start to a military career.
Super loose and super sensitive. Crazy. Jim turn STV terrain. I'm not really even sure what that does.
Sir, welcome to MacLeod. Local time is 12:25 p.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop, and a seatbelt sign is turned on. Please make sure you take all your belongings with you. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing the first class wings. We look forward to seeing you again and wish you a pleasant stay.
Bump, bump, bump. You all right back there? How you doing? So what do we get here? Oh, we got an A. 77, 81, 97, 75. So at least he was happier this time. And then yeah, the ATC and the overspeed. The overspeed wasn't my fault. There's something I don't, you know, I guess it is. Ultimately, everything is, I'm the guy that's flying the thing. If there's a problem and it's my fault, no matter what. I take the blame. It's something I obviously don't understand about the auto throttle taking me right up to the edge to where we were getting an overspeed. We were just over. Bump, bump, bump. Did I use the auto land button? No, I didn't know there was the approach button. No, I didn't do ILS at all. $104,000. All right. Well, I wanted to see how many I could do before Sunday morning came around. And I've only got 15 minutes left. So I actually probably could do one more in 15 minutes. But I think that's about it for a Saturday night. Oh. Yeah, it wasn't so bad, you know. didn't lose an aircraft this time. So, I don't know about tomorrow, playing it by ear. You know, it's a Sunday, right? So it's just whatever happens is going to happen tomorrow. But if I'm not needed anywhere, then I'll probably come back and do a couple hours of career, if at all possible. And I'd really like to do some time in the Joby now this week, the Joby S4. All right, so if you don't know what that is, it's another eVTOL like the Archer Midnight, but it's different. But it's the same, but it's different than the Archer Midnight, but it's the same. Why do you keep saying that, Kinneas? Well, first, let me say that if you don't read the user's manual for either of these, you're never going to get it set up right. No matter how much you think you know about key binding and what you think it needs, it's probably wrong. That's the biggest thing with the Archer is trying to figure it out. And then I go to read the user's manual, and it's like, you need to assign flaps increase for the acceleration function. What? You need to apply flaps increase to activate the acceleration for this aircraft. Okay. You need to set flaps decrease to activate the deceleration mode for this aircraft. Okay, that's very different. Same with the Joby. When they're telling you, okay, for this mode, set it to autopilot this, autopilot that, do this. It's like, I would have never thought that they would be used, that would be the configuration. But the way you operate and fly the thing, the way that you operate and fly the thing, the way that you use the left-hand joystick for a throttle and the right hand for flight, even the acceleration and the deceleration, that's exactly how you fly the Midnight. So they use different inputs to arrive at the same results. It's different, but it's the same. Aaron, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight. Always, sir. And that's so cool hearing your stories about your grandfather and just anything that you throw out there. It's all adding up. All these cool stories. Sounds like you've really had a pretty adventurous life so far. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. You have a great night. And I'll see everybody hopefully tomorrow. That's not what I want. What I want is... Now I'm thinking of that Kiss song. I want you. I want you. Baby, 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 I want you. I want you. Don't read into that. No. This has been a Tuthill Kinneas production. No real hot spices were used in the production of this show. You know, like anything hotter than cayenne pepper, absolutely not used for the production of this show. I mean, I can handle some cayenne. Then it's, you know, that's getting kind of up there. I'm not one of these hot wings people, though I do like watching people suffer on hot wings. There's some people that just have no taste buds for it. Bill Murray was on Hot Ones. And he aced everything. Hot sauces don't affect him, or it didn't seem to, or he's super good at controlling everything. I don't think I'd ever want to be on a show like that. I'd choke and die. So yeah, no extremely hot sauces were used in the production of this show. You have a wonderful evening.